Warning, this podcast has some swears in it.
I'd rate it PG-13 at most, but let's just be on the safe side and say viewer discretion is advised.
I can't believe they took an hour away on Women's Day.
Unfucking believable. Truly just heinous, disrespectful behavior from the, I guess the United States government, because they haven't abolished daylight savings time yet. So,
No.
Yeah, that's my complaint.
Hey everyone, you're listening to the Heroes Blade Vibe Check radio show. It's your host, Johnny Mardu.
And I'm DJ Space Girl. Let's get on with the news.
Universes Beyond Syndrome. We've heard that there's some Magic the Gathering players who are experiencing various different reactions to witnessing Universes Beyond cards. Most are unaffected by their appearance, while others are overcome with such hatred that they do nothing but devote every game action to annihilating the UB player.
Others are reporting seeing a pixelated sensor over Universes Beyond cards. We recommend those people seek therapies and their Ripper docs for their Kuroshi optics.
We'll see y'all next episode.
Time to raise your blades, heroes.
And check some vibes.
It's the Heroes Blade Vibe Check.
Alrighty, it's been a while, so I gotta start the episode with a bottle cap opening.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh shoot, hold on. Oh, come on, you son of a bitch! There we go. Alright, and I didn't lose it this time, hey.
Congrats.
So...
If you'll direct your attention to the chat, you'll see where I'm flexing on you with 2 drinks.
Well, that's some real bisexual energy you're bringing here. I mean, that's if you don't have more than one drink on your table, you don't have 5 open cans and/or drinks in your immediate vicinity. So anyway, some girlfriends invited me out to go to this gin festival that happened a couple weekends ago, and so here I'm leading up to like, oh, what's the thing that I'm drinking? Here's what's going on. So a bunch of like various different BC based like alcohol companies come down, and you get to just have samples all night of gin. You go from like 15 different tables or whatever, and you just sample it, and it's straight. Like most of the time, it's just straight gin. So either you're like you either like the alcohols or you don't. But then we stopped by this one table, and it's this table. It's called E. Bitterman. And I'm like, oh, so this is like alcohol, right? No, they are a water tonic company. They were giving away free product at the end of the night, and I thought, oh shit, like they're just giving away these little like bottles, like, oh, this is so sick, until I realized this. I'm like, what's the alcohol content of this bottle? Yeah, it's 0% because it's just fucking tonic water. So I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be so sick. I got 8 of these bad boys. I'm gonna bring them home, and then I'm
hell
like,
yeah. And you get home and it's just fancy water. Enjoy.
It's just fancy sugar water. But they did like a citrus one, and they did one, I think, where they said that they like mix it with kelp or something, and I'm like, that's really fucking weird, but all right. It's like West Coast tonic or whatever the fuck, and I'm like, yeah, all right, cool, whatever.
I mean, I have no idea what kelp tastes like, so maybe that's actually good. I
don't know, like
you got to try it one time for the story. So
we were going on all these different tables, and everyone's got these various different kinds of flavors. And they're like, oh yeah, we got citrus and apricot and blackberry. And I think one of them was literally like, yeah, we do it with like beef, with like cooked beef. And we're all like, huh? What? Fucking what? It was like, okay, but like, you know, it wouldn't be my favorite. The blackberry for that one was pretty good.
Yeah, I think I'm usually looking for fruit flavors from that experience, right?
Yeah.
Beef sounds fucking weird.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. But you know what? Like, if there's anything, when it comes to altered states of mind, you know, like, I've seen the names of some weed blends that shit gets fucking weird, Quinn. Don't fucking lie to me about that.
I would never once say that weed names are normal. No, that shit is also weird.
Like fucking, it's like Watermelon Baja Blast, or like, you know, that's obviously like a little more traditional one. Or like, oh, it's like Jungle King Fever 9000 or whatever the fuck, and they're like, oh, it's laced with fucking mushrooms. And you're like, I don't smoke any of that shit, but that sounds fucking batshit, man.
Yeah, weed names are getting completely out of fucking control. It's fine though. It still smokes good.
If it's mid, it smokes good. What have you been up to these past couple weeks?
I have been walking back and forth up and down Tajin's Tower in Final Fantasy XIII, trying to get my level up, as it were, and eventually we're going to max out the skill tree for that point, for not like every role, but for the 3 roles that we have the main characters playing. Mm-hmm. And at that point, we should be able to overcome the boss on sheer force of numbers alone, and I don't have to get good. I do understand the strategy better, though. We did need better stats in addition to the better strategy, but now I'm just like, I am just going to beat you with numbers, and I don't care anymore.
Yeah, I think after some people were like, oh, hey, by the way, like, do these strategies or whatever on top of the level grinding, like, yes, the unfortunate part is if number do go up, it usually means opponents' numbers go down better. And that's just kind of what you need to do if you got the patience for it.
Yeah, we have developed the patience for it because we do still want to see the end of this game, and I'm not going to fucking get filtered by this bitch.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not stopping now. I will be defeated, but not by you. Yeah. Still, I guess that means me. You know what? That's the thing right now is that I'm, like in between a bunch of video games, and like I'm playing Monster Hunter Wilds. Who cares? We've been there, done that. Dale messaged the video game chat over in the MTG Lexicon Discord. He's like, yeah, hey Cole, I deleted the game because I got filtered out by this Apex Duna, and I'm like, pick it up. I need you to pick it up, re-download it, and also tell me, and then like we'll get on the horn and we'll play, because a bunch of these games have crossplay nowadays, so I'll help out with that, no problem.
Cole wants to be the knight in shining armor to save Dale's campaign.
Yeah, hey, I'm literally playing Gunlance. That I'm using a shield. I will save you, my liege. Like, stay behind me.
Vine boom his ass. This dude's a fucking paladin.
Yeah. And like, I know I gotta go back to some games that I've been having. Like, I've downloaded more games that I probably should, and then I'm like, oh, I need to finish Outer Worlds 2 and all this other stuff. It's just I've let so many of it go to the wayside. But you know what else is a way to not play video games, Quinn?
Yeah, what else are you getting up to?
Oh, hey, have you watched some media lately?
Watching a little bit of media, yeah, actually.
Now, I need to Vine boom your ass. This Faye Empress telling me Faye only watches 1 movie per fiscal quarter, and we are now currently at checks notes like 4 goddamn movies within like the last month.
Yeah, fully fucking blowing out my media budget as far as attention for the quarter. We're just, stonks are crazy right now. I watched Pitch Black, the 2000 movie. With,
yes, the
Vin Diesel
2000s very popular sci-fi horror movie Pitch Black, featuring Vin fucking Diesel.
Mm-hmm.
I also watched
Richard
this.
Riddick. Yeah, the movie bangs, actually. That is a mid-complimentary.
Yes. So, like, I don't know about you, but I've been like, okay, maybe it's time for me to, like, sit down and watch some movies. And one of the things I started doing was putting a list of kind of like cyberpunk or sci-fi movies on the list. And, like, a lot of them, unsurprisingly, or maybe not, has Jonathan Wickerman star Keanu Reeves in it. But then, of course, you're like scrolling through Amazon or whatever, and then you see the Chronicles of Riddick, and you're like, Now hang on a minute. That's a Vin Diesel movie. This looks kind of fucking cool. Like I've seen one of the 3 or more like Riddick shows or movies in like forever, and I'm like, wait, this is a sequel? What the fuck is Pitch Black? So anyway, we go ahead and so you watch it, and I'm like, hey, by the way, give me the file because I know you got that shit unlocked, and you're okay, yeah, here you go. So I watched it. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I was not expecting the actionized beginning of the Chronicles of Riddick, and then being like, pause, need to go watch a different movie, and then watch the different movie, and it was like, wow, this is like a horror movie. Like, this is just straight up like a very fucked up horror movie.
Yeah, if you like Metroid, this is probably the type of thing that is also appealing for... It's particularly Metroid Fusion. Like, check that out. It's the same, like, space horror type beat. Alien feels similar, but, like, yeah, I don't know. I like the guys in the remote planet with the weird biome that has like multiple suns, but occasionally an eclipse lines up and the entire planet loses all of its lighting, and the whole ecosystem is built around that. That shit's cool.
Yep. And Vin Diesel is a fucking asshole in this movie. Holy shit! You have like,
yeah, that guy's the worst.
Like, so like you get this established thing of like, oh hey, like shit's fucked. He's an asshole. Like, this is why he's set up like he's locked up in maximum security on this ship. But then it turns out maximum security doesn't mean shit when you're in space and your ship is crashing on the fucking planet. And then he escapes. He just fucking disappears and dips. You're like, uh-oh, what the fuck? Where did he go, right? And then you proceed to see him, like, dip around everyone, like, trying to look for him or keep an eye out for him. And at one point, there was that camera pan from the people in the foreground to him in the background, like, eating and drinking stuff. Like,
he's fucking reclining underneath an umbrella that other homeboy set up. And I'm just like, wow, you are really flexing on him.
Yeah, it was so funny. And then of course, like, tension grows and everyone's got their little character beats going on as the crowd gets thinned out over time, and you're like, oh my god, like, what the fuck are those things? And it's like, oh wait, no, this shit's terrible 2000 CG, by the way, of all the alien things. We're like, but despite that, you get these crazy action moments and horrible moments, and characters die in the most like crazy, horrifying, gruesome ways possible, but never exactly directly like in front of the camera, so you're not given the full like, oh god, they're eviscerating them to shreds you say.
Yeah, they get a little gross with it, but not like Hellraiser gross with it.
So yeah, Pitch Black was pretty freaking good.
Yeah, enjoyable film. Love a 7 out of 10 that's peak.
Yeah, it's you're like, I'd watch that again at some point. Not anytime soon, but I'd watch it again. So I did not immediately go back to watching the Chronicles of Riddick. I was like, where the fuck can I finally sit down and watch Ghost in the Shell standalone complex again? Because I had watched it as a kid. It was on YTV at night on Fridays when anime was coming out on like Bionics or whatever the fuck it was called. And I'm looking around, I'm like, what is it on? And the internet finally gave me an answer. And it's on Tubi.
I hear a little bit about that streaming source, but like in the context of movies of varying quality, shall we say.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you know, any access to free streaming sites right now, like, there's a lot of them. Some of them are probably a little more reputable than others. When I heard, I was like, Tubi can't be real. And there was like, you could watch the show that you absolutely want to watch on fucking Tubi. And the first thing that came to my mind, and I gotta do this meme bit, have you seen the new show? It's on Tubu. It's literally on Hebe. It's on Pooty with ads. It's literally on Dippy. You can find it on Weeno, and then it goes into you can log into Poob and watch it. You go to Poob, dive into Poob, you can Poob it. Because I'm like, what are these streaming sites? They're the most ridiculous fucking names now. So anyway.
Yeah, they all sound like that.
I watched Anime Peak on Tubi, Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex. Season 1 was 26 episodes, that typical 24, 25 minute runtime with a mid-show ad break, which was totally okay to deal with because it wasn't like in the middle of a scene. They're like, oh, a scene transition's coming up? All right, we'll go to like the 2 ad break. You're like, sick. I can sit back for a bit, and then the advertisements are done, and you go back and watch the episode just like you used to watch it on TV. It's fucking awesome. Fucking The Major, Motoko Kusanagi, continues to be a boss-ass bitch, and Section 9 is awesome, and wow, police brutality never looks so cool.
You cannot be saying shit like that, my guy.
No, it is obviously, we're talking about like, oh, so in the distant future of 2030, checks the calendar. Oh, shit. A bunch of people are like variously cyberized from like only just their brain to also their eyes to also just like having full body prosthetics and stuff. And Section 9, the crew of people that we're watching throughout all these episodes, and it's very much like initially seems kind of like an episodic, like every episode is haha standalone, and then there's like an underlying plot that like eventually ties everything together at the end of it. And I've talked about this with Andy a few times from LCP, and he absolutely adores the genre of like cyberpunk stuff, and he very much loves the movies, but he's like, man, I can't stand the show because they got the stupid robots in it. I'm like, hey, first of all, those tachikomas are there for comedic relief in a show that gets really, really fucking serious, and then they become plot relevant. So it all like again comes together. But again, yeah, like the haha, like everything's political, and they are like a privatized like police force. So you're kind of like, well, wait, we're rooting for the popo? Like, what the fuck's going on? But then you see the shit that they have to deal with, and you're like, propaganda, of course. All right, I guess we can let it slide this time. But also because anime is cool. But yeah, show's still as good as I remembered it. And the things that I remember, like, piecemeal from when I was a kid to, like, now, I'm like, wait a fucking second, all this shit happened. I don't really remember like the sequence of events or like how were they able to do it. And then like you see it happen and you're like, it clicks if you're paying attention. And then they like give you like the rundown later when everyone's doing all the heavy exposition. And you're like, I'm being rewarded for being a smart viewer. Yay. That is a good like 2000. God, was it 2001 or 2002 when it came out? Like, yeah, pretty good. I'm going to be watching season 2 after this, but I think I will be watching the original Ghost in the Shell movies probably after we record this podcast, actually. That will be what I'm
All
right. Hey, Golden Sun, am I right?
Yeah, so I've been playing Golden Sun: The Lost Age. Game still rips. This has offered a much better summoner roleplay experience than Final Fantasy XIII, unfortunately. I like the side quest and then of like collecting all of the Djinn, and then the side quest within the side quest of finding all of the summon tablets that have all the spells. I'm just fucking casting those and getting sick animations and dealing appropriate amounts of damage for the sickness of the animation. All of that is way more satisfying than the experience offered in Final Fantasy XIII so far, and we've played quite a bit of Final Fantasy XIII, so I don't know if it's going to get any better.
Unless they suddenly give you like extra powers as the plot demands and suddenly it gets good, but I don't really foresee that happening.
Yeah, we're pretty late in the game for them to be doing that. I think I checked a guide somewhere, and for 13, we are like 2 more zones from pretty much the end of the game. There's Erba and then Eden, and that's it.
Well, wrapping that up pretty quick then.
Hopefully, as long as we don't get filtered by that boss. Anyway, in Golden Sun, I just did the thing where you light Jupiter Lighthouse and you go meet up with your party from Golden Sun 1 and you unite the forces and you have like 15 or so of each type of djinn, and you can really just like get sick with it, mixing and matching types and maximizing everybody's stats with their item classes, or getting the like ninja class if you're into that and you're not using the item classes. You can
ninja
also,
and samurai in particular are like pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, I haven't actually like gotten those in the game yet, or like I haven't set my party up with those in the game yet because I have all of the item classes that I'm playing with. I did a thing in the like weird trial that you have to go on in the Shaman Village, where if you drop an artifact or some like rare type of items,
you did the item dupe. Okay, I got you. Yeah. All right. I was like, when you messaged me, you were giving me updates here and there, like, okay, we're here now. And you're like, oh, wait, I just got another one. And I'm like, how did you do that there, friend? What's going on?
Did that, and then you get your whole inventory back after the trial when you win it, because they do some weird thing to manage that in the game. And then you go and check the item shop, and you still have access to that thing that you dropped during there in the artifact section, so you just scoop that on up, and I'm like, perfect, here's my second Tome Gather icon, and we're gonna have 2 of the fucking Crypt Lords, or whatever that class is currently.
Yeah, whatever the subclass is, and they're both like, depending on which brand. I think when it comes to the item classes, like, there's not a whole lot of diversity because it does depend on like your djinn arrangement for like how high you can go. That being said, very strong item based class though.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying using the Call Demon to just punch things for quite a bit of damage, and I think the like Griffin from the Beastmaster has been very effective for me, and the Mysterious Card classes, I think the one that we're on currently is like Harlequin. We've been in an area where the like red magic hasn't been as effective, and a lot of their stuff is fire based, but the other stuff has cool animations, so I've been enjoying that. Also, we have just like normal weapons that let out pretty sweet howls, and those are doing enough damage that we can just like attack and be fine.
I actually still think you can go back to Ayers Rock to do the Soul Blade glitch. So keep that in mind, but you do have to go all the way back to Ayers fucking Rock.
I don't like Ayers Rock, dude. That dungeon was too fucking long. Like, Jupiter Lighthouse, also a very long and tedious dungeon.
Yeah, but like Jupiter's Lighthouse, the length there still is, it feels not as long and as tedious as Ayers Rock, and you're like near the mid end point of the game before the rest of the map opens up and you get to the end game. That being said, yeah, it's still just a bit too long, like, getting through.
Did have a very sweet boss battle at the top of it with Karsten Agatio. We did absolutely beat their asses. We handled that. That is a very difficult boss fight, though.
Yeah, they were like, oh, hey, are you prepared? You're like, yeah, am I not? And they're just like, Jin drain. Wait, what? I
actually did the, like, air quotes, safer thing and left everybody active as far as Jin, and then just, like, unleashed them in battle and then started ripping summons when we had that available. Fucking Ulysses, my goat, did so much fucking damage during that summon.
Those summons are so freaking cool, though. Well, they really did go fucking all out with that pixel art.
Yeah, they did quite a bit of work with what they had as far as resources on the Game Boy Advance. I am endlessly impressed with the way that the summons like Judgment look. Like, great work, gamers. So yeah, that's a Golden Sun: The Lost Age fangirl hour. Still love that game several decades after it came out.
It's a fucking classic for a reason. So yeah. So I went bowling this weekend.
Yeah.
The first time in a while. I do not go bowling very often, if at all. Like, it's definitely once every few years kind of thing. So we went out with my brother and his girlfriend. We were like, okay, we're going to go. Like, hey, we were going to hang out last weekend and it didn't work out. He's like, okay, let's hang out this weekend. And then I'm like, yeah. He's like, let's go bowling. It's like that whole GTA 4 bit. Hey, Nico, let's go bowling. Not right now. All right, next time then.
I have not seen this reference.
You wow. All right. You have never seen a GTA 4 machinima in your life.
No, I haven't. Is GTA 4 good, actually? Should I play that?
I think so. I probably, right? I think so. Anyway, so we go and they showed up a little bit early and got the lane set up for everything. They're like, okay, so here's what we're gonna do. The first game is practice, and the second game is the championship of the world. And we're like, all right.
Yeah, you gotta lock in appropriately.
And so, like, obviously, we are kind of quote unquote in teams. You know, we got my brother and his girlfriend going first, and then me and my girlfriend going second. So you had asked for the scores, and let me tell you, I couldn't tell you anyone else's. However, they're like, hey, you showed up. It's your turn, Cole. I'm like, all right, get out of the way. Get a 10-pound ball, feel it up. Feel it out, whatever. Be like, all right, my fingers aren't gonna get stuck in this ball, and I whip it down the aisle and break my fingers immediately. Like, no, okay, we're not doing that. So, first thing I do, strike.
Okay.
And they're both like, what the fuck?
You man locked in.
And then I sat down, and then my brother's like, so you're like secretly, you two are secretly bowling like every weekend, right? I'm like, fuck, like, no, like,
no, it's just math.
I just
do the math.
Who starts a conversation like that? I just got here. Like, what are we talking about? So I got up to, I think my brother got 104 or like 108 on the first full game. And I came in second at like 94 or 97 or something. You're like, okay, strong start, but unfortunately I couldn't keep it up. And my brother's like, yeah, go check it out, right? Second game, oh fuck, I come out at 128, and no one else I think broke. No, my girlfriend broke 100. So we were both like leagues in the lead, and they were both sitting there at the end of it like, this fucking sucks. Championship of the world is bullshit. And
they got fucking rolled. Wow.
Yeah. So, hey, bowling's good. My legs are just fucking dead. They're dying. I haven't worked out my legs like this ever. And yeah, just like my thighs are just absolutely killing me just walking around. Like, I got so into it. I fucking was sliding on my knee, throwing the ball down the lane. It was fucking awesome. And then later I'm like stiffly walking around like, oh my fucking God, like that was really a workout. Jeez. So yeah, hey, bowling's fun when you go with other people. Just, you know, don't overdo it, I guess. Don't be like me.
Do your fucking stretches first.
Well, maybe. Unfortunately, no amount of stretching that I've done recently has caused any amount of alleviation for the last 24 hours. So
well, that's because you went too hard, but no worries. You'll be fine.
So then and then yeah, just to wrap it up, just to be like, hey, what else is going on actually for us in the future. So I am kinda sorta working on a playmat, kind of. This doesn't mean anything. This does not mean we're making merch. We're not doing any of that. But that being said, I am looking into getting it done. I'm still working on some stuff in the background. I decided to get like a demo version of it printed and mailed out, so it will be here in the future at some point. We'll take a look at it and see how it works, and yeah, we'll go from there. You know, we're still jamming games and stuff over at MTG Lexicon every weekend. So come on through, go check that out. We have a good time. We could have you on there, maybe, question mark. Well, but we got to veto you, so you know.
The term is vet you, bro. We got to vet you.
You got to vet you, yeah. We also did D&D stuff. Joe was DMing us through a Magic the Gathering themed 3-shot. We just wrapped it up this last Friday. Stuff went down. So go check those out if you want to know what's going on. Joe did a really good job. I got a little pissy because I'm like, I haven't killed things in the last 3 hours. Where are the violets? And then we eventually got it. I was like, yes, let's fucking go. I am suddenly feeling alive again. So yeah, so there's that. And we are not going to have a guest for next episode. We may be doing it like the next one afterward. We'll have to get back to you once we confirm things with that guest we've been trying to get on. And that's it for upkeep.
Hell yeah.
And yapping about video games and shit.
GTA is apparently 10 out of 10s, just like every fucking where. So maybe we do play GTA 4.
I like it. 4 has been out for so long, because think about it, 5's been out for like over a decade now. Isn't that fucking insane?
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing a lot of old games lately, so whatever. The release dates can't hurt me.
All right, let's do some vibe checks.
Yeah, vibe checks. Fucking turtles. The face commanders from the commander deck for the gosh, what is that fucking title? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There we go. I don't know what the actual deck's name is, but the deck with all the legendary turtles in it. They should all pick up the blade, but especially Michelangelo the Heart, because he's got Trample and Raid the Fridge, which says you need to be attacking. And that just means that you need to start jump scaring people with the +3/+2.
Yeah. That particular Michelangelo, holy shit, spooky. Fucking spooky how quick he
makes
he
a
gets
fucking food token and gets a +1/+1 counter, and you're like, what am I supposed to do with this food token? First of all, you use that food token to trigger his brother Leonardo the Balance, who puts a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control when you have a token enter the battlefield. And secondly, you cram that in your face at the final boss, like it's Legend of Zelda or whatever, and you stave off death by 3 life at a time.
You've been doing that a lot lately.
Yeah, it's good, actually. As it turns out, food tokens bang.
Yeah, I still haven't really utilized it a whole lot myself yet, even though I know that I probably should do that more.
I really want to get into the, like, non-token food deck and make that, like, with just all the awful pizzas from this set, the, like, Heaped Harvest, and all the cards that are T-colon
do you
food.
Put, like, Yigra in the command zone or something?
No, I want to feed it out of Corvold. Sorry, I'm the worst.
Oh my god, no! Aw, Quinn, no! Oh, man. Alright.
I already have the, like, food typo deck, but it's also got some treasure stuff in it, and I can just cut cards that say treasure on it and swap them for cards that say food or are T-colon food, and make the deck worse, but still have my awful king in the command zone.
Still have my awful king, yeah. Should be in jail is where he should be, but alas, here we are.
It's bracket 3. I'm allowed a game changer commander.
Yeah, I guess so. You're like, fine, if everyone's going to be playing fucking foreign clicks and shit in the zone, I might as well fucking...
Yeah, I'll put fucking Corvold in there, and if you're prepared to step to that, then if you force a will my Bolas' Citadel, that's appropriate.
So yeah, those dang turtles can't keep getting away with it, but they will.
Yeah, put the Hero's Blade on all of them, and April.
And April, yeah.
What you got for me?
So I got a couple for this one, just based off of some recent decks. I'll go over the deck in particular because the lovely Medusa challenged some of us to make Esper Sphinx commanders, and through just just by process of elimination, I got Alenda and Azor, which someone was like, "Oh no, my lobster too buttery because if I can have card draw in the command zone." I'm like, okay, relax
Sphinx's
for a
Rev
second.
in the command zone. I'm so hard done.
I got half of Sphinx's Rev in the command zone. I don't get the life gain. So Alenda and Azor being a 6-mana 6/6 with flying in Ward 2, like you would think, like, yeah, they can, and they probably should, but I think they're actually good to like not have it. Or at least like it doesn't really change things a whole lot, because in my case, with the goal of the deck, it's actually more focused on the card draw and like Vampire Knight creation. So I'll go over that specifics later. Pretty sure I don't have Hero's Blade in the deck, but we'll go over that later. But you know what does have a Hero's Blade in it, or at least for a very brief time, when Kellen Daring Traveler was my commander for another deck that I'll be talking about. Hey, you remember that Kellen from Caverns of Ixalan? Yeah, he loves being a 5/5 and attacking. So, he's a 2/3, and whenever he attacks, you reveal the top card of your library, and if it's a creature card with mana value 3 or less, you put it into your hand. Otherwise, you may put it into your graveyard. So, tricky effect, but you want that buffer to get in there and swing and be comfortably a 5/5. Kellen also has the adventure Journey On to create X map tokens, where X is 1 plus the number of opponents you have, or that control an artifact. So, hey, those turn 1 Soul Rings, they feed you map tokens. That's pretty sweet. I have now assessed this Kellen much differently. That attack trigger is still kind of annoying, but yes, Heroes Blade compliant. Absolutely love it. You could probably do Journey On first, then play a Hero's Blade, then play Kellen, and then get around to swinging, and probably be fine.
Yeah, that seems like a good curve.
Yeah. So yeah, those were the checks. I'd say those were pretty good overall, and I'll elaborate over some of that stuff later. Let's get into comments.
We have a comment from all the way back on episode 1 from Stephen, who says, "I may not have been here since the beginning, but I'm glad to be here now. Nice to see the vibes have been immaculate since the beginning and have only gotten better. In honor of the first episode, I will force Hero's Blade in my first commander, Caneus Interior of Meletus. Will it be the best deck ever? Probably not. Will it be lit as fuck? Heck yeah."
Yeah,
Nice.
those kings continue to cause issues at commander tables to this day.
Yeah, we are saluting them. They're doing great work.
And yeah, Hero's Blade will do them huge favors. And then it was funny when Steven's like, "Oh wow, hey, happy, like, when's the 2-year anniversary?" I'm like, so by the time I decided to sit down and get those YouTube episodes out, I literally just like chucked them in the blender, put them out like back to back to back, and then eventually had it caught up with like simul releases. So yeah, it's been more than 2 years, and he's like, "Oh, how come I didn't clock that?" And he's like, "Well, it's probably because of all the Oxen talk," and then I immediately threw everything else out of my brain. It didn't matter. But hey, we do appreciate you going back to the very beginning and starting from the top. And then Steven is back again saying, #Cole Corruption Arc, of course.
Hell yeah.
That is a joke, and yes, I'm 2 weeks late on commenting, but I decided that I'm going to do it anyways. Look, everyone is so valid for wanting to play at the power level they enjoy. I find that while getting to a common ground is great, especially when you're looking to play with specific people, regardless of their preference in deck building choices, it is equally as important to allow yourself the space to play in a way that brings you joy. I'm a bracket 2 girly, and I love my Blorbos and Coral Reefs and Oxen. These strategies do not sit well at the bracket 3 or higher tables, and that's okay. Try more outreach, add, not take away. You get to play with more people and more magic that you love. It's a win-win. I mean, yeah. I am also a bracket 2 girly, but I am known to punch up. So it really does depend on like the people you do play with. The meta really does help give you like a more measured perspective on like what everyone's up to and what you can get away with.
Up next, we've got Jay Lobster, who says, Cole, your take on games reminds me of the superstition around reading books in jail or prison, wherein they attest that if you start a book and don't finish it before you're released, you're destined to return to that jail. This nearly Garland to me, but I just stole the fan thing from the prison library. Oh, this nearly happened to you, probably? Gotcha.
Probably, yeah.
And then you made fucking sure you finished it. Hell yeah, dude.
Interesting to learn. What a unique perspective. Yeah, I just think that, like, especially with the way video game development has been going and access to computer parts, going to your backlog and actually, like, finishing games will probably be an amazing experience compared to, like, a slowly, endlessly growing Steam library where you're like, wow, that would be a cool game if I could play it, but I cannot, or I will not. It's a shame. Anyway.
Anyway, time to start another Fallout 4 playthrough.
Don't call me out like this. Right? Come on. Nathan here is saying Aethermancer mentioned, same developer as Monster Sanctuary, my recommendation from last episode. So hey Nathan, I'm gonna live with you. I have not played Monster Sanctuary since the last time I mentioned it. It has been not on the priority list. I have been cyberpunking it up with Ghost in the Shell and playing Monster Hunter.
Unfortunate. We gotta lock in.
I do. I really do.
And also watch the fucking Chronicles of Riddick. That's what we're doing this week.
That's what we gotta, yeah, we did. I gotta get back on that. I'll be doing that.
All right, up next, we've got Indominus Lux, who says, okay, we need to acknowledge something about YGO Season 1. Even though there was cheating, an established canon rule of the game at that point was, if you pull an effect out of your ass that your card has, and it passed the rule of cool, it's valid and happens. Theoretically, if you said something out of turn, an opponent could call you out and exercise their vibe speedo. It was literally a vibe check.
Okay. So what you're telling me is that fucking what was his name? The Millennium Eye guy.
Maximilian Pegasus.
Maximilian Pegasus. So what you're telling me is Maximilian Pegasus vibe checked Yugi's grandpa into a fucking VHS tape through the fucking TV, and then he's like, let's have a vibes check tournament on my island with a huge cash prize. What is this fucking CDH tournament? CDH?
Yeah, his fucking Millennium Eye flashes audibly with a whoosh sound effect, and it glows, and then he looks at you and says, I find your vibes rancid, Cole boy. And then he locks your ass up in the VHS dimension.
Oh god, the 90s nostalgia is too fucking powerful. This has to stop. Oh god. What a nightmare fuel. What a hole. No wonder fucking Yugi's like, Pharaoh, go get his ass. And he's like, I'll vibe check the shit out of you. Check this out. Behold my bullshit. Go. Oh god, Yu-Gi-Oh! Really was. What a fucking wild fucking ride in those early seasons.
Truly an incredible
Stop
incredible
right there,
show.
said Okaiba. I'm gonna shoot you with my gun, not if I throw a card in the fucking hammer so it doesn't hit the bullet. You're like, what the fuck, bro?
He's
Calm
really
down.
good.
All right, what does Questioning Feldegriff have to say for us?
F yeah, artist proofs. They can be expensive, especially if you start going for boutique signatures. I also end up spending a lot more at cons than I think I will, but I feel good knowing I'm directly supporting the artists that help make this game so special, for me at least. Heart emojis. I agree, absolutely adore artist proofs. OMG. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I am not Hobbs Q level, not even close. I also have a few more that like I just don't play with because I'm like, what was that? What's that? Strixhaven owl from Silverquill? Brina. I got a Brina. Excuse me, artist proof.
You have a Brina artist proof?
Yeah.
And it's not in the 99 anywhere ruining games of Magic the Gathering?
Yes, correct, exactly.
What are you doing, mate?
Not ruining games of Magic.
Oh, but she's so perfect.
No, I don't want to do Brina stuff. it's too much, and it's really annoying because everyone's always going to be asking questions. Whoa, what I'm gonna do?
No, you just need to make it a portion of your personality that where if you're playing Black White,
I
you're
am not
playing
going to
brunette.
pull an Empress Quim Timna the Weaver personality thing. I'm already doing that with one other card.
You have two hands.
You have 2 hands. No, it's not fucking happening. My 2 hands are holding a fucking cool blood sword, and it's for Audric, all right? Fucking leave me alone.
All right, you got my ass.
Fucking ready for filth. Get out of here with this. All right, let's take a brief moment to detox with the new Empress Quinn track.
Yeah, sounds good.
What's the unofficial title for Project 106?
I don't know yet.
Okay, cool.
Once again, fucking red for filth.
All right, listeners, you know what's up. Let's read an excerpt from DJ Space Girl here. We woke up thinking about Lil Peep and how he would rap over Midwest emo guitars and trap drums, then made a sad boy guitar loop drowned in reverb. Inappropriate drums and the scream sample, lean into the analog horror vibes with an analog synth for the bass, and lead and some chords felt appropriately deep fried. Sounds like walking down these hallways looking for the save point, and instead of finding the save point at every corner is her. The track's name is Screaming Nemesis. Let's head into Duskmorn and check out what's up.
Let's just calculate it in the application of the power.
Cool track. I'll see it in post. But you listeners won't. You'll hear it live as you're listening.
God, fucking
Christ.
unbelievable.
Okay. You know, I had this thought recently. This is a very terrible thing, probably, where someone's like, okay, so, you know, it's like, okay, oh, so the white cis guy partners up with the trans they, them, or, you know, like whatever the scenario is. And then they do a podcast. It's like, well, hey, get that white guy out of here. And I'm like, listen, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think Quinn could run a podcast without someone dragging fair hand along.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not doing
Quinn,
this by myself.
make music. It'd be so cool. You're like, yeah, sure. You're like, edit an episode. You're like, fuck no, absolutely not.
Yeah, that's not what I'm here for.
No. If I absolutely need, like, emergency, like, I need you to do it, would you do it, though?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
like, we'd
cool.
figure it out. It's not hard. Well, like, yeah, it is, but it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. God forbid. You know, when Light reached out to me and she's like, hey, so who knows how to, like, recover a project file for Audacity? And, like, you might have to start over. And she's like, motherfucker. I'm like, oh, but let me tell you some tips and tricks. Let me help you out. Because everyone's got their different workflows. Like, fuck, if I actually did full, like, proper video editing for, like, the YouTube version, first of all, no. Absolutely no way. Not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's a lot of effort.
That's, like, even what I do, like, what I was initially doing, like, putting some images in, because, like, you have to listen through and be like, cool, like, okay, maybe if I wrote down the timestamps after the audio was edited and be like, okay, I gotta put stuff here, and here. And if I actually put in, like, card images, I did that for one episode. I nearly felt like I was gonna blow a freaking vessel in my face. Like, it was just not gonna happen. Just, it's a lot of effort. Doing this stuff is a lot of effort, and obviously, like, if we needed it in a pinch and I was, like, I don't know, bedridden for whatever reason, I'd be like, Quinn, on my deathbed, I need you to edit the episode. You're like, damn, that's a lot of pressure, bro. Why would you do that to me?
That is a lot of pressure. We do it.
I would get you everything else you would need, but apparently, yeah, I don't know. Crazy stuff. Hey, I lost my arm. Can you edit the episode this week? Huh? What? Jeez, dude. Anyway, so cool music track aside, let's get into creative media for this week. Quinn, as usual, I ask you first, what the fuck did you watch in the last couple weeks?
Great question.
Or listen.
I think it's kind of just been the usual rotation of the, like, loading ready run and Spike Feeder's videos for gameplay and the other, like, largish Magic the Gathering podcast. Like, you know the ones. They don't need any more advertising.
Yeah, except maybe like the Time Wasters, which I also
the Time Wasters 9000 had that Turtopia episode, which fucking banger. The Chef's Kiss, a very funny bit.
Okay, because that was my invention for this and or one of them at least, as usual. So the one thing I gotta say is that obviously, like, I could definitely tell, like, they got some comedy chops, they got some good discussions from the last few episodes that I've seen of them, and that's all fine and dandy. I will say though, the Turtopia thing, I'm like, oh boy, like, I feel like we're riding on the edge of, like, this is gonna be the most agonizing, annoying shit to keep coming back to every week. Or it could actually be funny if, like, spaced apart. I
don't think that's dangerous. A bit that has, like, the juice to do that every week, so it probably wouldn't.
No. But other than the Universes Beyond bashing episode, which it wasn't because it was just custom card discussions that they had gotten from their audience on Discord. Otherwise, fun discussions. I've liked what I've seen so far. We'll see if I will continue it. But in terms of, like, when you're waiting for more GGG episodes or more Brew review or more LCP, there are other things that are there to fill up your time. So Time Wasters 9000, way to go. So this was a different video. I have not watched is this Unpopular MTG? I think it is from on YouTube. Hold on 1 second, let me check. Yes, Unpopular MTG. Unpopular flyers you should try immediately through each of the color combos, including Requiem Angel and like Sigarda's Vanguard, which is like, hell yeah, give me some white flyers in here. There was Angel, I don't think it was mentioned, although maybe it was in like the comments. Angelic Skirmisher, that's my recommendation for like a flyer. A 6-mana 4/4 Angel of Flying at the beginning of each combat. Choose First Strike, Vigilance, or Lifelink. Creatures you control gain that ability until end of turn.
Gosh, each combat on that is brutal.
Each combat is so fucking good. So yeah, you want to be on the beatdown or like get ahead, like get that Lifelink or get that Vigilance on your turn. And then when people are trying to come at you, give your creatures First Strike and tell everyone to fuck the fuck off.
That's so annoying. You shouldn't be able to block with First Strike. It's rude.
It's rude. But, and yeah, it's there. So there's that video. The most fun commander deck no one is building from Flavor Text. I'm forgetting all these names off the top of my head because, like, I'm trying to, admittedly, part of it is like you watch a video and you kind of vaguely forget. You're like, oh, it's this guy. You're like, oh, wait, yeah, no, it's reminder text. Mono green elves piloting vehicles. What a concept. Go check that out. I'm not trying to like downplay it. The Spike Feeders doing TMNT commander stuff. Kang versus the Rat King versus Don and Leo versus Rav and Leo. If you want to get your perspective on legends from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles set, Spike Feeders, among other people, are the various ways that you can get your perspective on it. Did see that Jim LePage post where he's like, wow, this is the lowest viewed turnout of videos so far. And I'm like, yeah, that does suck, doesn't it? It's a shame that people
I'm
are
doing my part.
Yeah. And then finally, an article from Kristen. Uncommons are officially more interesting than mythics, and I don't even need to elaborate any further just because she's right.
But I love a mythic orange set symbol.
Yeah, but like, okay, so let's talk about the article at least a little bit, or at least in some of the experiences that I've had. And it's just like, when you think, like, I'm more likely to bulk grab a bunch of, like, uncommon rarity stuff nowadays, just because, like, either maybe they did, like, push an uncommon, like, a little bit too far, and it's, like, applicable to, like, a bunch of decks. You're like, oh, it's the new staple or whatever. But they're just sometimes where it's, like, they just do a lot of good work, and then, of course, the throwback to, like, the Uncommon Commander days when I was doing that podcast. There's so many uncommon legends in circulation now that it does feel like it's old Commander, because okay, if we're making busted legends in rare and mythic, then like the uncommons can kind of get in there too, and they just do a lot of like really good work for their rate. Without people immediately being like, we just got to immediately kill that legend like ASAP, you know. They don't get that same heat. In fact, they might be mid, you might say.
This is true. So, nobody's looking at uncommon Alfaro from EOE and saying he needs to die.
No, because he's got Death Touch on your turn. Wow, look at that. That's so cool. Like,
look at that guy go. You draw some discards. Wow.
Wow. Hey. Hey. Whoa. Hey. Whoa. Chill. Death.
Yeah, and then you just got to look at what they're drawing and discarding. Oh, is that? Okay. And then just like, you know, act accordingly.
So speaking of Edge of Eternities, Quinn, I got to shove you in the smoking biz dimension with Lenny so you two can chop it up.
All right. We'll be back in a bit.
We're going to go to the one place not yet ruined by capitalism. Space.
scoured the Sothera system for the most medium of Magic the Gathering cards. This is the Edge of Midternities.
Oh, fucking banger. Alright. I'm locked in.
Alright, yeah, let's do this. Okay, so I know you and I were really, really high, pun intended, on this set in particular. I love space and the existential dread it brings. And
yeah, it fucking whips. I love how you, like, stare up at the sky too long and you're like, wow, space is really fucking big, huh?
Yeah.
And then you just like, wow, space is maybe too big, actually. I'll look at something else now.
What I say is do not go onto Wikipedia or YouTube and look at exactly how big space is, or the fact that actually the universe is accelerating at a greater rate as time goes on, so things are getting farther and farther away.
Shit, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking yikes.
I know, right? Oh, but we're here to talk about Magic the Gathering cards.
Yeah. This
All
is ostensibly a Magic the Gathering podcast and a Magic the Gathering podcast.
Yes, not an existential dread podcast. All right.
Alright, so you want to talk about some AoE mids?
Heck yeah. Okay. Where do we start here? You know what? I got a lot of them. I'm going to start on one that I just was blown away by. I can't believe I missed this thing. The Glacier Godmaw.
This guy is so much.
Just like, okay, 5 and 2 green. All right, I'm interested. 6/6 trample. All right, make a lander token. Okay, but the landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, creatures you control get +1/+1 vigilance and haste until end of turn. Like, this guy is a build your own overrun.
Absolute bullshit. They put it all on the card, and it has trample, and you know you can cast it on turn 4 because you're a fucking green mage.
I'm looking for a place for this as soon as I saw it. I got a Pendragon list that like is just crying in the club because it's an uncommon.
Nice. Well, oh wait, no, you can't have the uncommon. What's the like rarity restriction for Pendragon again?
So you can have everything is common. The only thing that isn't is your Excalibur, which is your legendary equipment.
Gotcha. Yeah, that is unfortunate. You're definitely not getting a Glacier Godmaw for that.
Yeah, because my list is all about just like not paying retail for like bigs, like all of the Dreadmaws, and this would be so perfect.
One hell of a fucking Dreadmaw.
Yeah. What you got on your list?
I had one spot that I play Glacier Godmaw. That guy is in my Sultai Sea Monsters deck that I have on MTGO. We just put all of everything that doesn't get bounced by Whelming Wave and Sin in the command zone. And that is particularly good in that deck because Sin can do extra landfalls if you hit lands from the graveyard with the ETB or attack. And it's just like, I probably didn't need anything more, but like the Glacier Godmaw is just another layer of get fucked.
Okay, yeah, that would be the place for it. I am sign me up as jealous.
Hell yeah. Alright, what do I have for you? Speaking of green mana, Frenzied Baloth, this guy is, like, listen, okay, it can't be countered, creature spells you control can't be countered, combat damage can't be prevented, also it itself has trample and haste, and you read all of that and think, this is maybe kind of loud pack, right? No, actually, unfortunately, it's just mid. People can still find a way to interact with your bullshit around that. It's really frustrating.
Oh no. Alright, you heard it here, folks. Questing Beast's little brother is mid.
That said, I'd still encourage trying it because you gotta do your due diligence. Like, they're gonna find a way around your bullshit, but you still have to, like... They can't work around you throwing these roadblocks if you don't throw the roadblocks in the first place, you know?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Alright, what you got for me?
Okay. We got one that I have been interested in for a deck that I took apart. The Sunstar Lightsmith. It's 3/3 for 3 and a white. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, put a 1/1 counter on this creature and draw a card. Like, okay, we're slapping card draw in mono white on a hill giant. like, yeah, it's the once per turn thing, but you know what? White's pretty good at casting spells off turn and multiples of them. And, it's just like a card draw guy, just a little guy. And he gets bigger.
I'm just like imagining the universe where you've got your like creatures that want to see your tiny creatures enter the battlefield, and this guy's like your fucking curve topper or whatever, besides Sun Titan, of course. You're just casting your 3-drops and entering the battlefield and drawing a card, and then you cast your second 3-drop that enters the battlefield, and this one draws you a card on cast because it's your second spell, and you can still absolutely fill your hands just like playing into all of the techie little engines that White already has, and it's another sweet piece to that.
Heck yeah, we're moving more towards that, like, whenever you do anything, White draws you a card.
Real. I have another White card as well here. Hey, y'all remember Glorious Anthem? They put it on a spaceship in the form of Lumen-class frigate for 1 and a white, and for Station 2, other creatures you control get +1/+1, and if you put 12 counters on it, then you get to flying and lifelink for a 3/5, and like, that's fine. But I'm just like, I'm not too good to play Glorious Anthem still, and if you're playing a wide army of 1/1s and you play that, this is basically indistinguishable from, like, Furnace of Wrath.
Yeah, no, I see that. Heck yeah. Like, and we've all seen those, like, tiny little 1/1 token decks. Honestly, like, the spacecraft do not get enough love, I think. Like, there's so many, like, go-wide decks that have pornographic amounts of tokens that could be, like, get them in the ship. Get your extras in that ship, okay?
Yeah, I have 12 of these tokens, and I definitely don't need them, so we're going to tap all of them, and we're going to or station this spacecraft, and now I've got these other extra abilities available.
And it makes itself better at crewing itself. Right? Because it's based on power for, like, the stationing.
Yeah. You tap those guys, you get up to 2, and then the creatures getting +1/+1 have better power to crew the spaceship. You're absolutely right.
Hell yeah. All right, I got one. All
right.
I know you've heard me talk about this one a bunch, but listen, we all have had those, like, trinket decks with, like, their clues. We're tripping over our food, our blood, our treasures. Like, mutagen now. Like, there's just so many artifacts all over the place, and you're just stepping on them like Legos. So Cerebral Download, 4 and a blue, instant Surveil X, where X is the number of artifacts you control, and then draw 3 cards. Like,
oh, holy shit, I completely forgot about this, but you're absolutely right. This has been an overperformer every time I've seen you cast it. I felt so fucking jelly, and I can play this in the 4-color Turtles deck with the April O'Neil in the command zone, and they're just like printing out a bunch of clues and food in that deck, so this is a welcome addition there. Draw a bunch of cards.
Oh, hell yeah. Honestly,
draw 3 cards, rather. You surveil a lot.
Yeah. Well, it's basically a tutor if you're doing it right.
Real.
But honestly, art-wise too, like, you wouldn't even know the difference. Like, you couldn't tell me that thing didn't show up in an episode of Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, that would fit right in. What on earth are they doing on Uthros? Oh, that's well, it explains in the flavor text, actually. All Uthros networks are routed through an ancient relic called a memory vessel, which converts data into thought.
Huh.
Homeboy's just connecting to the memory vessel.
Oh, man, this setting is so cool.
Dude, Edge of Eternity's actually fucking ripped. I would love to go back there. They left us on a cliffhanger, too, and I really need to know what's going on.
Yeah, for real. Also, like, I know D&D is somewhere. I assume they're in the same building, but, like, I know y'all got Spelljammer, but, like, make a D&D book out of this, please, if you are listening.
Yes, dude, the people need that. The streets is hungry for this, as they say.
Alright, do you want me to hit another one? Because I have a huge list.
Yeah, you've got a couple of cards on here, so go ahead and give me another one.
I have feelings. Okay, like, back to that whole spaceship vehicle thing. As you know, I'm vehicle pilled. I'm looking to drive my van into people's hearts. I have fallen in love with this little guy, the Nanoform Sentinel. He did so much work for me when I was playing the EOE pre-release. Or they, or it. It's a robot. I don't know. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, untap another target permanent. This ability triggers only once each turn. So, Yeah, like you can untap your vehicle, you can untap your land, your mana rock, your Tolarian Academy.
Your what?
This is your Tolarian Academy pastiche. Oh,
Yeah, that's right. The blue planet land in this is basically Tolarian Academy.
yeah. And then, like, if you have a way to untap this guy, not that you probably just untap some. But look, if you're untapping multiple things, like with, say, an unstoppable plan for the next turn, or, Seedborn Muse, then
Goodness.
it's just getting you so much more value. But I really love it in the vehicle decks for crewing multiple vehicles.
I had not thought about it in that context. I should absolutely take a look at that. I really like that guy, Unctus Grand Metatect, and think that he has such potential as a Cars deck.
Yeah. Honestly, he was on the maybe board for mine for like a hot minute, and then I don't know, I gave up.
Yeah, for sure, it happens. But yeah, I think that I have a couple of decks that have like cars in some colors that include blue, and that would pair really nicely with that, getting to just like do the thing, loot, do the thing, loot. It would feel good.
All right, what you got? Another one?
Yeah, on blue and artifacty stuff, I have Synthesizer Lab Ship. This guy, for 1 blue mana, you get a spacecraft that, for 2 station counters, I think they're charge counters. Charge counters. For 2 charge counters, at the beginning of combat on your turn, up to 1 other target artifact you control becomes an artifact creature with base power and toughness 2/2 and gains flying until end of turn. And at 9, it gets flying and vigilance and is a 4/4. You're just out here turning your clues and food and treasures and mutagens and blood and maps and into flying 2/2s and getting in there. That's actually, if you have all of those tokens and you have like ninjutsu or sneak costs that you would like to pay, this makes a perfect like thing to generate the thing to feed into that. Like, sure, I'll return this mutagen to my hand to put a Silent Blade Oni into the battlefield tapped and attacking. That seems fine.
Oh, I love that. I got 2 of these, and I just like have been trying to think of like, what am I even gonna do with this guy? But you are so right. Absolutely, put this in the deck where you're tripping on all the things that you want for your cerebral download.
Mm-hmm.
All right, good call. What do you say? 1 more each?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. There is one I really want to talk about on your list, though. So.
Okay.
Okay. I just didn't think about what I was going to talk about next. Oh no! What have we done? All right. You know what? Actually, I want to talk about Planetary Annihilation because I can have a little bit of a soapbox.
All right, go off.
Well, first off, just play it. It's not mass land destruction. I don't care if it says destroy multiple lands. If you can't
I
get
think this one rips. 6 lands is plenty.
Yeah. If you can't do your plan on 6 lands, then I don't know how to help you. But doing 6 to each creature, chef's kiss. Yeah, I know it's not 13, but it's enough.
I think 6 is big enough usually, yeah.
Yeah, it would get that Glacial God Maw.
Yeah, unless they've got that instant speed land play or some shit, which would be so tilting.
Oh god, you mean the instant speed land play that the card actually gives you from making a lander token?
Yeah.
It's so hard out here.
Listen, you're doing your best. You're doing the honorable work of at least making them answer that's 6 damage to each creature.
Yeah. Alright, what's your last one?
The last one that I want to talk about is Requiem Monolith, and then we can talk about the one that you wanted to talk about from this list.
Perfect.
Alright, sounds good. Requiem Monolith. For 2 and a black, it's an artifact, and you can tap it to until end of turn. Target creature gains whenever this creature is dealt damage. You draw that many cards and lose that much life. This creature's controller may have this artifact deal 1 damage to it. Activate only as a sorcery. I love this card as like I'm getting card advantage or I'm getting unblockable, and both of these are acceptable. It's also just like off rip. If you can take 1 damage on that guy, it's a Phyrexian Arena. Or if you're a nasty crime goblin and you need to put a death trigger on the stack for, I don't know, like Sothera the Super Void or something, you can deal 1 damage to a 1/1, and then that guy will die and you'll draw a card and trigger whatever things happen whenever you have creatures you control die. There's a lot of flexibility with that. The thing that I really just like, though, is to take a person who has a pretty sizable creature and put some creature that you don't care about, put this trigger on it, and just send them into battle over there and be like, all right, so you can either take this combat damage or give me your, like, 12 cards. And sometimes they'll just do that. They'll let you draw cards and lose 12 life. And, like, you do have to be prepared to answer that, but you're drawing 12 cards, so I think you'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, it works with the aforementioned Planetary Annihilation, where you just set it up on one of them damage board wipe turns.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
It works with our home bot Nanoform Sentinel too, with the untaps.
Yeah.
I'm really into this. I've actually been wanting to jam this into the Athreos cult list. I mean, like,
I think at the absolute minimum, if you're playing Phyrexian Arena, you can maybe swap this out for that and see how it plays for you there.
Yeah. I mean, both is good also, but yeah. Really cool card. I really like this one. Okay, so I want to talk about the mid-elephant in the room.
All right.
Okay, I see the Dawnsire Sunstar Dreadnought. And normally I want to say, like, my interpretation of this whole thing was that we're like, oh, we're going to do cards that are, like, actually kind of good, but, like, they're mid. And despite playing this one, I'm like, it's kind of mid, actually. Like,
right?
In the negative way.
Oh man, the thing is you have to station this for 10 whole charge counters, and then when you attack you get to Doomblade 1 creature basically, and the investment is so much. You can do tricks on it, though. If you've got your Barbed Servitor, if you've got your Brash Taunter, if you've got your Spite Mares, your Stuffy Dolls, your Stormwild Capradors, you know what the fuck I'm on about. You can do the Uno reverse and send that damage at somebody's face, or pay it off in some way that's beneficial to you. It can be done. But man... what a mid-card.
Listen, I have Jody Whittaker piloting it, and I'm not even going to explain for the folks at home who that is.
Okay.
But, yeah, and even then I am struggling to get this thing going. It feels really good when it does, though.
If you can get that off and you can start blasting a creature per combat, that feels pretty solid.
I think a good place for it, now that I'm thinking about it, is we need to give this thing lifelink.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, I guess, yeah, going all out of your way to do it. But, like, I am not playing any of the stuff in Jody Whittaker that cares about, like, that's creatures with counters. Like, there's that guy that's, like, your modified creatures have, what is it?
Oh, modified creatures you control have lifelink?
Yeah.
Envoy of the Ancestors?
Yeah, and, I mean, it's 20, and we could get this thing going, or we could, I guess also do our synthesizer lab ship.
Oh yeah, we can make it a 2/2, that's fine. I'll take that.
And attack with something else and just gain 100 life.
Okay, I'm in. I've got plenty of decks that play Whip of Erebos, and we can just, like, give... Man, Whip of Erebos, what a card. I want to get off the back of that earlier.
And, like, that card has won so many games.
Yeah. Goodness. But anyway, this is about the Dawnsire. Absolutely, giving that lifelink and gaining life in chunks of 100 will turn the tide on a game for surezies.
So many extra turns.
Yeah, basically. Unless they can hit you with the commander damage or poison wind gun or whatever.
Yeah. Or, man,
They
they get
gotta-
you with that false cure at instant speed.
Oh man, I wish somebody would get me with the false carrot instant speed.
Right? That would be better than winning any commander game, is to just, like, Dawnsire, lifelink, attack, do 100 damage to someone's creature, and they're just like, false cure.
They're just like, you know what? Salute. I will take
Yeah.
that. That was excellent.
Put that on my headstone. I got false cured off of Dawnsire.
Oh, hell yeah.
Alright, well, I think that's about it. I'm supposed to drop some wisdom on everybody.
Yeah, leave the people with some nuggets of wisdom. I was really inspired to do some more stretchies with your last nugget of wisdom. I think you are correct on that, so thank you.
Well, thank you. Maybe in the future people can also ask me for courage and power. Okay, so I pulled up one. This is a good piece of wisdom, actually. So when you're traveling internationally, you really want to make sure that you make a photocopy of your passport, and actually multiple photocopies. One that you keep with you in like a separate bag from your actual passport, and then also leave one at home with a trusted family member or friend. Because passports do get lost. It does happen during international travel. And while you cannot travel with a photocopy of your passport, it will help you get a real copy so you can get back to traveling. That's a really important thing to do. You do not want to get stuck, on vacation. And that's my nugget of wisdom.
Love to hear that. Thank you so much, Lenny.
So as a non-traveling person, even I have to think that Lenny's advice is pretty good. I find it so funny. You're like, Benoit, what's some words of wisdom? Or Quinn, what's your words of wisdom? And you're like, Magic the Gathering, words of wisdom. And we're like, good job. We're like, Lenny, words of wisdom. And he's like, real world application.
Yeah, two different kinds of people.
Yeah. So, hey, Edge of Eternities, what a cool set. Very often these days, just looking back at it fondly, where will we go next? What will we talk about? I don't know. But hey, do your set homework, because you never know what you missed out the first time when you look through a set. Geez, don't I know it nowadays when you're like, hey, do you remember this random card from like a thing? And you're like,
absolutely not. When did it come out?
It came out 3 years ago. So,
yeah.
Quinn, what have you been brewing lately?
Hey, so I drafted the set with the turtles in it to pick up some commanders as per usual. And one of these legends was Old Hob Alley Cat Blues, the 5-mana cat mutant, I think. Let me pull up the card.
It's got to be like a mutant, right?
Probably.
Yeah, cat mutant rebel.
Rebel is wild. There's a card that cares about that.
Much to think about.
That makes tokens, yeah. We could just be tapping this guy to return Othari from my graveyard to the battlefield tapped, I think. Does it have to be a token? Othari? What do you say?
Nope, it just says rebel.
Well.
Just jotting that down.
Yep, okay, just writing that down, alright. Anyway, so yeah, Old Hob Alley Cat Blues, legendary creature, cat mutant rebel for 4 and a red, 4/4. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 2/2 red mutant creature token. It gains haste until end of turn. Destroy it at the beginning of the next end step. And you can spend 1 and a white to have target attacking creature token gain indestructible until end of turn. So I looked at this guy and was like, this is a pretty compelling gameplay loop to just make a guy that you send into battle every turn until you can afford to pay to keep that guy via indestructible. And what other things could we apply that to? What's a token that should absolutely not have indestructible? And then you hear the audible stars in my eyes. Dragons.
Fuck. Oh no.
So yeah, Dragon Token Typal, I guess, was what we landed on for this guy. And we've got just a bunch of cards that say make a dragon token on enter the battlefield or attack, like your girl Lathlis, and then there's Ran and Shaw from the Avatar set, Udvara Hellkite from, Udvara Hellkite. You know her.
From the hit show.
I think it's a Ravnica set, apparently.
Yeah, it's the return. It was from Return to Ravnica. It was probably from Gatecrash or something, if I remember right.
Yeah, Return to Ravnica. You 360 no-scoped it.
Sometimes
Wild.
I know things.
They got dragons like this on Ravnica. Anyway, yeah, so we've got triggered ability dragons. We've also got activated ability dragon generation. I've always kind of been enamored of the, dragon printer type of card. Dragon Whisperer, I think, is the, earliest playable, air quotes, version of this that I remember. There's an enchantment that's even older that'll print out a dragon token for, 8 mana, but I'm just, not spending 8 mana for a 4/4 flyer. Not unless you're Roku and you're printing out firebending dragons.
Well, yeah, that's the thing about these creatures that have I've always wanted to use a Dragon Whisperer or etc. And it's just yeah, you have to make them evasive, indestructible, and among other things, and then you have to have that surplus mana to get that stuff out, and it's always hard to do.
Yeah, as Bird says, you gotta pay the cost to be the boss, and these guys make you really come about them coins. So yeah, we've got Dragon Whisperer, we've got Goro Goro, Disciple of Ryusei from Neon Dynasty, who for 5 mana will print out a 5/5, but only if you control an attacking modified creature. So of course we've got some stuff to modify our creatures, we'll get to that later. We've got Dragonkin Berserker printing out the dragons on Boast for 4 and a red, and Boast abilities you activate cost 1 less to activate for each dragon you control. So this is the deck designed to make this card good. And then from Ether Drift, our new guy, Draconautics Engineer, with the Exhaust ability that prints out the 4/4 flying dragon token, and the other Exhaust ability that gives other creatures haste and puts a +1/+1 counter on this creature. So we've got plenty of ways to make dragons, but that's not enough. We have to be able to populate those dragons and produce additional copies. So we've got that fuck-ass bird, Nesting Dovehawk. I truly hate that guy.
and yet here he is, because he's also fucking good.
Yeah, he's also that fuck-ass bird Nesting Dovehawk, very good at its job, and we're just going to, at the beginning of combat, populate our dragon tokens and commence killing people. We also have Determined Iteration and Muster the Departed. The Determined Iteration basically makes a shadow clone because we have to sacrifice the token that it populates at the next end step. But Muster the Departed is a bit more permanent if we've satisfied the Morbid ability.
The Morbid, which is pretty not hard to do, depending on, first things first, I don't know. There's a lot of ways to do it. We're in Boros and you're going to combat. It's more inevitable than not that it's...
Yeah, we basically just employ the Crash Out Aristocrats game plan of generate the token with Old Hobbs, send it at somebody who absolutely can block that, and it'd be so fucking free for them to do so. But then I just if they're paying attention, they look up on my board state, they see that I have a dragon token and a Muster the Departed, and perhaps they just take the 2 damage because they don't want to turn on Morbid and enable me to populate the dragon. So that's that. We also have the single piece of Shadow Clones technology in Fable of the Mirror Breaker. This is also just a card that I like, and just the card advantage and ramp thing. There's a lot that it's got going on, and I put that shit on everything, as it were. But it's especially good here because I can populate the stuff like Dragon Trainer and whatever Nesting Dovehawk wants to see. Making a Shadow Clone Nesting Dovehawk. Don't do that.
Wait, sorry, say that again? I missed that.
Making a Shadow Clone Nesting Dovehawk? Don't do that.
Why not? That would be so awesome that you make a bunch before combat and then you populate a bunch of things.
rapidly spiral out of control. Then your whole board is nesting Devhawks, and your opponents have to deal with that.
It's a good thing we don't have access to blue.
Yeah, we'll be fine. That's the dragon token generation. We've also got sections for card advantage and the rest of the vegetables. In card advantage, I wanted to get a little sick with it, so we've got sagas and planeswalkers, because those are like card advantage in that they cast free spells for you that you didn't have to draw. So it's like air quotes card advantage, but still you can actually put cards in your hand this way, particularly with Legend of Yangchen. She, on chapter 2, can have like you and target opponent draw 3 cards. There's also the like removal, and then the backside, which is also removal or resetting ETBs. Just a really sick card for 5 mana. If you've got 5 mana and you're in white mana, definitely think about Legend of Yangchen. You can be very annoying to your opponents with that.
Yeah, you've gotten me once with that card, and I was like, never fucking again.
Yeah. We also have Legend of Roku, which is, it really fucking feels like Red Harmonize. Chapter 1 exiles the top 3 cards of your library and lets you play them until the end of your next turn. Chapter 2, add 1 mana of any color. And Chapter 3 turns into Avatar Roku, who for 8 mana makes a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying and firebending 4, and he himself is firebending 4. So he kind of subsidizes the cost of those dragons, which is why I'm not paying 8 mana for a dragon, because all I need to do is attack with Roku and have 4 mana, and then we've got a dragon on the way.
Yeah, filter that into Goro or whatever.
Yeah, we can also use that on plenty of other dragon token generation machines. We also have, in the Planeswalker section, Elspeth Stormslayer, the token doubler. Woo!
Boo! Boo. She's gross. Why? What the fuck? Why? I mean, one, she deserves it totally, but at the same time, boo.
Yeah, this card is really strong, so play that, I guess, or don't. I don't know. We'll see how long she lasts until we get bored of it or whatever. I just wanted to try a token doubler that wasn't like Anointed Procession or an enchantment-based token doubler. Like, this dies to combat.
Or like a Mondrak or whatever.
God, Mondrak is annoying.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, that's, yeah.
Yeah, anyway, so here's my token doubler that actually, like, dies to removal. Unlike Mondrak or enchantments, which don't die to removal. Do not quote me on that.
They die to removal asterisk.
Anyway, I've got Sarkhan Fireblood and Sarkhan the Masterless, because Sarkhan the Masterless prints out a dragon token and then becomes a dragon, and then Fireblood ramps me into my dragons, has an ultimate that makes dragons that we'll never get to because my opponents can read, and has a +1 that lets me filter cards, and I think that's the most important thing. We need to turn our, like, lands that we draw that we don't want to see into actual live cards, and he helps do that. We also,
turns out card filtering pretty good.
We also made sure to play the like little guy card draw for like a mana value or power, those type of guys. I thought we were a little clever. We've got Naali Sun's Vanguard in here, who serves as the like token anthem, but also card advantage. Whenever one or more tokens you control attack a player, exile the top card of your library. During any turn you attacked with a token, you may play that card. So I get to have the card advantage, but she also just says attacking tokens you control have double strike. And my 4/4 and 5/5 flyers should not have double strike.
But also, what a synergy with Old Hob when you get to go to combat, make that mutant token.
Yeah, I've been fangirling about the dragon tokens this whole time, but Old Hob does have that mutant token that he makes every turn, which is going to consistently guarantee that we can get this trigger off. On the same vein, we've got Welcoming Vampire, Enduring Innocence, and Takesha's Welcome that are all the like little guy card draw, all looking to see Old Hob's token generation. We also just like start the Stoneblade package. It's card advantage, so we've got.
Yeah, I know.
We've got our guys.
Blink. Hey, what's this? Oh, it's an Empress Quinn package here. Let's check it out. Oh, what's in it? I don't know what else I expected.
Yeah, you got the Cloud, you got the Ophelia, you got the Stoneforge Mystic, you got the Sword of Blinken Ramp, you got the Buster Sword, you got the Sword of the Animist. I'm thinking about putting the Ember Cleave, Quarry Steelcutter, and Hexplate Wallbreaker in here because those would be emotionally satisfying, and I really value that feeling. I would also, I think, like the tokens that Quarry Steelcutter generates for the rest of the synergy. Hexplate Wallbreaker also makes a token when it enters, so it's on theme. And then Embercleave just fucking kills people, so, you know, you gotta just fucking kill people.
I have put in an online order, and I have gotten a copy of Quarry Steelcutter on the way.
Nice.
Because, goddamn, wow, okay, geez, this card really do be kind of fucking nuts.
Hey, Editor Cole here from the future. They fucking canceled the Quarry Steelcutter. They're like, yeah, we don't have it. Sorry. So, no Quarry Steelcutter stories for me in the future.
Yeah, it fucking rips. I understand why it's banned in Standard. I'm also super hyped that you were able to, like, open one, sell it at the like, peak, and then make some money buying another copy way cheaper.
I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I got it sold for 12, and I bought it for... I got the regular printing and traded it in for about 12 or something.
Nice.
And then I got the alt art printing for 6 Canadian. So, yeah. Why didn't I get another one or get a foil one? Listen, I got some other stuff on the way. Don't worry about it. But that's...
yeah, don't be looking at his shopping cart. Mind your business. All right.
Listen, it's a problem. All right, don't worry about it.
So the rest of our veggies, we got just like the rampant interaction package. I was literally in the shower when we brewed the majority of this deck, so instead of actually taking the time to make a bespoke ramp or interaction package, we did the...
So instead of a shower beer or whatever weird shit that people get up to in the shower, they're like, yeah, I guess we could build a deck while I'm freaking got hot water pouring on me.
Yeah, it's a shower brew, but not like that.
But not that way though.
Yeah, basically. So we were just like add the package, the like head empty colorless ramp package and Stoneblade, and then we edited the number of bobbleheads down to make the like ratios of ramp to the rest of the deck feel better. And then in the interaction section was literally just O-tag, removal, sort, EDH rec, add the top 10 minus the cards that piss me off.
What were the ones that didn't make the cut that pissed you off?
Teferi's Protection, some other white indestructible bullshit. I think Clever Concealment was up. No, that wasn't removal. What?
No.
Did we
Clever Concealment?
No, neither of those are removal. What did we... there's stuff in here that
so
we
you're
absolutely...
like, so those cards, so all I heard was O-tag cards that piss me off, sort EDH go. You're like, none of that bullshit.
I was like, wait, hang on, none of these are removal. What was actually up there that we scrolled past? Because I know there were cards.
Yeah, I'm curious, like, just to see what the end result
Yeah, let's
is.
just pull up this fucking search. Swords to Plowshares. I'm not gaining you life. We, I think, skipped... Oh my gosh, I need to have this on like a separate screen. Lol.
Technology, am I right?
Yeah.
We're doing it live. We're figuring it out. Cole, don't edit this out. In fact, don't do that.
All right. Oh yeah, Farewell, Vandal Blast. We ignored both of those.
Although, admittedly, I am thinking about adding a Vandal Blast here and there in the future.
Yeah, more and more people are needing Vandal Blast, but I just, like, was annoyed by that in the previous era of EDH gaming.
Yeah, no. I think in terms of what... So in terms of what you have allowed yourself here... like, you got your MDFC Witch Enchanter, alright, that's all fine and dandy. You got Lauren of the Third Path, so we're incorporating creatures into the strategy. That's what you want to be doing anyway. Good old new Mega Flare that also happens to synergize by making a dragon token.
Yeah, this actually came up in the search for dragon tokens, and the search for removal is going to be like several pages down before that shows up because it's new. So yeah, we found that there, but it does synergize and be interaction. It's perfect.
Speaking of another card that I added to my online order list thing, I was like, yeah, if we're going to be getting cards that are not local or geographically located in the province of BC, I'm going to be getting myself a copy of Mega Flare because holy shit, this card is just fucking cool.
Yeah.
I see you're taking a page out of the lovely Medusa's book of Descent of the Dragons.
Yeah, this just makes dragon tokens, and I can destroy target creatures, so if opponents have been worthy of my gifts, then we can perhaps bless them in the form of the ascension of one of their small folk into the apex of, I don't know. There's a word for it, but whatever, the apex form.
Yeah, I don't know either. Still, from what I'm able to see here, good stuff.
Yeah, so that's the veggies and then the gameplay experience. I've gotten one game in on this so far. We drew a bunch of extra cards, which felt good, but a lot of them were lands, which did not feel as good. At the end of the game, I had, I think, 2 interaction spells and 5 lands in my hand. And
Brutal.
like 7 cards in hand, cool. 5 of them being lands and 2 of them being interaction spells, not as good.
Yeah, that's something I've run into recently where it's like I have nothing else in my hand that's gonna like rapidly or like violently change my board state, and I have interaction spells that are reactive and not proactive, so it just feels really shitty to be in that situation.
Yeah, one of them was Boros Charm, so we did have the ability to grant a thing double strike offensively, and we elected to reserve that for throwing up the like indestructible blockers or a double striking blocker that you didn't expect, because we didn't have the like guaranteed KO if we did rip the double strike. So we didn't. And I guess the like cool thing about the build of this deck is we do have these mana sinks if we get into those situations, but we didn't find any of them. So I'm just like, none of these are a place to put my mana, and that really sucks.
Yeah, it does feel bad, but you've clearly learned from your first experience and how you can adjust and see what comes up next time.
Yeah, gotta just draw more cards, I guess.
Draw more cards. Easy. You're in Boros. It's the easiest it's ever been.
It is genuinely the easiest it's ever been.
That being said, because I'll and also not to interrupt, because hey, you got another point here about how Flyers win games, obviously. I do have to shout out Untimely Malfunction for being that motherfucking card from Duskmourn, because that thing has been pulling quite a bit of weight, even just for like the first 2 modes alone. Shout out to the Untimely Malfunction that redirected your damage that was pointed at me back at you.
Oh my gosh. I tried to fucking Warstorm Surge you with a Bellacore trigger for like 6 or something, and you were like, actually, get fucked.
You know what? It seems like a good time to just not have that happen. And then I won that game. So hey, go figure.
Yeah, wild.
Turns out red cards can be good, but it took us a while to get there, and now we're here.
Yeah, maybe red cards are a little too good. Maybe we should chill.
Chill.
So anyway, Flyers win games is the other thing that we learned from the gameplay experience there. We had Flyers, but we were also sitting across from a Bedlam, which basically means the Flyers don't matter, because nobody can block anyway.
Yeah, when people are teching against flying creatures because they're like, well, I know that Flyers win games, but what if they couldn't? And then you're like, fuck! It's genius. Why didn't I think of that?
Oh,
Where's,
when they
like,
get you with the
Bowers
fucking
Passage or some
sandworm
shit?
convergence in the ramp deck, and you're just like, what is this? And you're like, I'm weak to flyers. What do you want from me?
Yeah,
Fuck.
like I'm very vulnerable. How about you chill? You're like, fine, I guess I will. What a bunch of bullshit. Who
Yeah.
fucking plays Bedlam?
Yeah, I mean, apparently it's Homegirl's favorite card.
Well, got a lot of questions. But anyway,
Anyway,
hey,
yeah,
that
what do
deck
you
is
got
fucking
for me?
cool and not bad. Not bad to take a cat mutant rebel and be like, but what if we made it dragons though? And then everyone gets thrown for a fucking loop when you give shit indestructible.
I really want that fucking divine visitation, but for dragons, that doesn't exist, and I think that they need to just make that.
Quinn, I don't know if we want that manifested because we don't know what else they're gonna tap on top of that enchantment when they print that. They'll also be like, oh, also, dragons have haste, or like some other bullshit. You're like, this isn't Dragon Tempest. Fucking chill the fuck out.
They already gave us Draco Genesis. How much worse can it get?
Is that gonna be the episode title? God damn it, Quinn. Why are you doing this? Why are you manifesting this?
Oh, sorry about that. Anyway, what do you got for me?
Okay, so I don't think I talked about the whole Selesnya Reanimator discard strat, but maybe I did. But if I mentioned it in passing or didn't elaborate, well, let's come back with the homework this time. So let me give you a brief TLDR about what the mentality was and then how we got here. So I was like, I need a legend that gets me cards in hand so I have enough access to discard on top of finding various other ways to like discard cards that's permanent based. The initial thought process was to put the pig in the command zone, aka Yasharn and Placeable Earth, because it was like, hey, let's get some basics and hit our land drops on top of it, and also tell people to shut the fuck up if they're going to be paying life or doing some other bullshit. Then I'm like, no, the pig's not the way to go. Randomly look and realize, hey, why don't if I do Rip Spawn Hunter instead? So the first version of this list started off with Rip, and then I'm like, oh, I don't like Rip for whatever reason that I initially had, and then I was like, let's swap over to random bulk pickup that I got from random face-to-face event a couple years ago. Kellen Daring Traveler. Oh, wait. Kellen kind of doesn't really work for what I want this strategy to be. It's time to go back to Rip because she's kind of fucking awesome. So let's go back to her. All right. So I have two deck lists that I have here. It was the initial version and then the revised version that came up after playing with Kellen for a bit. So it's a mix of a traditional green ramp strategy. Oh, gee. Wow, go figure. Mixed in with the various prior mentioned methods of discarding cards, with some more to be added in the future just to see how this whole thing works out. And then eventually to reanimate bangers when in a pinch, like how I've been doing with Audric Blood Curse. And we have some of the cards in here that
fucking Marshall's Anthem.
That Marshall's Anthem fucking doing so much work. It's so good. So yeah, like we said, initially realized some of the errors with the deck build, revamped with new creatures, put Kellen in the command zone thinking it would help. Nope, chat, we were wrong. We went back to Rip because she's fucking awesome. So as it turns out, surveilling and exploring doesn't quite pull the weight on Kellen's body in attack when Kellen just puts cards in hand, even if you risk whiffing. She just can hit way deeper for way more for what you're looking for anyway, which is creatures. So the end result with the second version of the deck shown here. So we get excess draw effects a la via like Rip or stuff like going wide with Toski or Riskar's expertise or like a Momentous Fall or a Hunter's Insight or so on. While also using looting or surveil tech to get stuff in the graveyard, and then use banger reanimation effects to bring them out, to bring back other bangers. I'm revisiting some kind of old tech that are kind of quote unquote coal staples. Sirach the Hunt Caller, we need haste sources. So Sirach was we easily get Ferocious between like Rip and Sirach by themselves. So get in that way. Wolfear Silverheart, if there's one way to get Rip at a higher power and toughness and survivability, that's the way to go about it. Thunderfoot Veloth, not necessarily like old, quote unquote, although I guess in terms of Magic time, technically. But it was also when we start pushing through. And yeah, like, it turns out when you're trying to do this like rapid snap judgment, it's good to like get your reps in, figure out how it feels, immediately realize the errors, and go back and be like, damn, actually Rip Spawn Haunter is pretty fucking awesome. I realized my initial error when I put the deck together and didn't realize it was that the actual amount of Reanimator effects was not that plentiful, or was not able to hit that effectively. So when I revised it, I'm like, wait a minute, why the fuck did I forget Asperia Shepherd, Karmic Guide, Guardian Scale Lord? Suntans obviously are already, but I was like, holy shit, I need to put in Rhea Dawnbringer. I finally have a place for her.
OMG, my queen.
To like I've been having this conspiracy foil one for like ever, and
nice.
Finally it was like, there is no other place that I'd be able to put a 9 mana Reanimator thing where at the beginning of your upkeep you may return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, and she's the way.
I mean, there are other places that you can play Rhea Dawnbringer. I just don't know if you have the emotional fortitude to play that deck.
I think the thing is like, in this deck, the ramp allows me to play her at 9 probably anyway. Like, Fanatic of Ronus is a fucked up Magic the Gathering card.
That's true,
I realized
actually. What the
a
fuck
few
are they
games in a row.
putting in the water on Amonkhet?
They're like, holy, oh wait, and I can bring this guy back by eternalizing him? Fuck, right the fuck off. This is fucking insane.
Yeah.
But, like, I should be able to some way, like, very realistically be able to hardcast her or bring her back. So it felt good to have her kind of be able to come out from either angle. In any other deck, it would take more work, and I'm pretty sure if I sat down, I'd be able to figure it out. And I used to play her, like, years ago as in, like, the 99. But
yeah,
now
if you
I'm
want
like,
that mono white Rhea Dawnbringer deck, you're looking at a lot of Wraths and Recursion.
yeah, no, thank you. So this just felt like a good place to finally slot her in. We have a lot of fun cards, like, across the board. A lot of fun creatures. Taking some of the cards that I was playing in the Tristani 3 Whispers deck, and then just redistributing them here with the other tech. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's been nice to like have a very rapidly changing deck and have it feel fresh every time.
I'm so tilted that Cloud's Limit Break works so well for you, because I had that in my Joshua deck for a long time and just never had the satisfying targets that were tapped when I had that in my hand, and it's very frustrating.
So I am looking into, based off of the experiences with Tristani, because I had that really stupidly... I had Blind Obedience and Authority of the Consuls, but I also had Mjolnir and Conformer, Shuriken, and all that other stuff.
Oh,
so I'd be able to tap stuff down, then do Cloud's Limit Break and just be an absolute fucking asshole. But yeah, like, the Cloud's Limit Break tech and the Split Up tech, like, is the one way to go about it. And that's the other thing, too, where I was like, when I was going between Rip and Kellen, I was like, okay, so I have Adept Water Shaper from Lauren Eclipse, where it's like, other tap creatures you control have Indestructible. Mm-hmm. And then I have Sereth the Viper's Fang, where it matters, she cares about if stuff are untapped or tapped to give them hexproof or death touch. And then the Wandering Rescuer to have Flash Convoke, and then other tap creatures you control have hexproof. So we're trying to look for... yeah, like, trying to find ways to, like, keeping and leveraging, like, Rip's tap effect to, like, always keep her in the red, keep her attacking, trigger her on the second main phase and keep her protected, and then be like, oh, wait a minute, if I cast Split Up, I'll adapt Water Shapers out, as long as no one's blowing that up on the spot, which is, totally likely to happen. Destroying all tap creatures, or just have the mode to be like, oh, I'll destroy all untapped creatures, and people are like, no, you motherfucker. And then Cloud's Limit Break. And then Cloud's Limit Break of just having that extra bit of protection and choice of when to do it. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like I feel sneaky enough and clever enough for what I've done with the deck. How long this will be sticking around before I take it apart for something else, we'll have to wait and see. But I do got to get more reps in with it.
I think it's been looking cool so far.
I need Sarah's Emissary to come out one time and have fun with that.
I actually think you're fine, and she can remain in the 99 to be a very pretty art piece for you to look at when you're shuffling.
Hey, let's take a look at this 36 creature deck that you got here, and why it would be a bad idea for a particular pro creature angel coming out in the battlefield would do against your turtle army.
36 creatures is fine and normal.
Tell us about 4C Turtleslop.
Okay, so I played the 5-color Turtles Precon, and there were too many cards that I was drawing, and were like, this is not a turtle, or a mutant, or a thing that cares about the +1/+1 counters in the way that I'm looking for. I don't super want to be drawing this card. So I had that happen one too many times. I'm like, okay. Message received. I will melt this down and reforge it in my own image with just turtles and +1/+1 counters and hardened scales effects. And so that's what we did. We chose April O'Neil, Live on the Scene, and Leonardo the Balance for the commanders for that, because April will make a clue whenever a mutant, ninja, or turtle enters, and Leo will put a +1/+1 counter on the team whenever a token enters. So you get this pretty powerful play pattern of cast a dude, make a clue, buff the team, and you do that every turn. And you play just the cards with the pictures of your Blorbos on them. Deck construction is literally just like a T:turtle filtered for the set that is the commander set or the base set, and then add the cards that I like and ignore the ones that I didn't like or didn't think were on plan. We did very specifically want to see stuff that said +1/+1 counters on it. And we got like 7 turrets from outside the Ninja Turtle set that we wanted to make good in this deck. Shout out to Colossal Sky Turtle, another banger from Neon Dynasty. And then we've got the Kogla and Yadaro, Kappa Cannoneer, Ambling Stormshell, Takeo the Patient Avalanche, Bedrock Tortoise, and the Lion Turtle. Bedrock Tortoise doesn't have like as much to do in this deck because not a lot of my guys have the like toughness greater than the power. But it does just say my creatures have hexproof during my turn, which is more than enough for me, IMO. This also hits like a 6/6 when it attacks, so I think I'll take
pretty
a
good rate for
hexproof
4 mana.
Yeah, exactly. I'll take a 4 mana hexproof 6/6. That's fine. What else we got in here? Oh yeah, we got modified creatures you control technology. That fuck-ass tree Kodama, you know the one, Kodama of the West tree. Modified creatures you control. I know
exactly what you're talking about. When I was over at the face-to-face events, we were going around all the vendor tables, and I saw a Japanese Kodama that was still a bit too much money, and I'm looking at it like, I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you. You're disgusting. You're gross. The rate that you ramp with modified creatures is fucking gross. You give them trample. Why do you also give them trample?
It's disgusting. They didn't need any of that help. So anyway, we put the guy in the deck, gives the team trample, and does the just frankly pornographic ramp thing. We have plenty of basics in there to pull out of the deck with this triggered ability. Everybody's getting in for combat damage. All of that feels good. We've got Red 13 from Final Fantasy, who says the modified creatures that I control have vigilance and trample. We can also return an aura or equipment card from my graveyard to my hand when he enters, but I don't think we're on any of those. We're really just here to give the team the vigilance and trample, because those are good keywords. We also have the Invigorating Hot Spring from Neon Dynasty, because the art rips and it says modified creatures you control have haste, and then the +1/+1 counter that you can remove from there and put on a guy that you control to functionally give a guy haste. I've always liked that from the, I guess, just like casual standard decks that we played back then.
In terms of like 3 mana Gruul effects that do this, it is the most subtle one, but you can like get creature comes out, you give it the counter, it makes it bigger. You probably have effects that rapidly multiply those +1 counters to like an absurd degree just from moving 1 over.
Mm-hmm.
And then, they have haste, which is pretty huge. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. What were they smoking over on Neon Dynasty?
They had the reality chip plugged in and could see all of time and space, and knew that they would need to print some gas because the coming years would be fire. So it turns out we do have a aura in this deck, precisely one. It looks like level up. When this enters, you put a +1/+1 counter on enchanted creature, and the enchanted creature has, whenever this creature attacks, double the number of +1/+1 counters on it. Then if it has power 10 or greater, draw a card. That's just that's a lot. Like, whatever, dude.
They're doing way too much. They're doing way too much.
I also played a bunch of the Hardened Scales effects because that's strong. So we've got OG Hardened Scales. We've got High Score as well. And then there's a Michelangelo that does that too. I forget which one, though. Weirdness to 11.
Weirdness to 11.
Yeah, so we've got plenty of Hardened Scales effects. Turns out that's still good. We also have a couple of things that synergize with like clues and detectives. Detective of the Month in particular. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, you print out a detective token, which I guess would trigger Leonardo if we haven't already gotten there. But we also, as long as we have the City's Blessing, detectives you control can't be blocked, and it has Ascend. So, checks notes, April, legendary creature, human detective. All right, sounds good. Viable Voltron threat.
I am getting some ideas to bring something back because of all this tech, because I think I want to bring back Piper Wright, because like I was playing Detective of the Month with Piper, and the clue synergies and putting +1 counters on stuff. Yeah, I gotta think about this. Anyway.
Speaking of clue synergy, we also made sure to grab Mutagen Man, Living Ooze. You cast him for X green, and he's got trample and activated abilities of artifact tokens you control cost 1 less to activate, and when he enters, you make X mutagen tokens. So I cast him for like 5 or whatever. We make 5 mutagen tokens, and you can crack all of them for free with his like static ability there. Which is gross. Yeah, that is pretty fucking gross. He also cuts the cost of activating clues in half, which makes cracking them way more palatable.
Yeah, I noticed that I'm thinking about partners and everything, and I'm thinking about making... Sorry, never mind. I'm getting ideas, and I will wait for me to maybe see how that works out, and I will hold my comments, because you probably also already thought about it. So, continue.
I don't know. Go ahead, what do you got?
That blue background that says your commanders have... Pay 2, sack and equip, sack an artifact.
Oh, Clan Crafter. Yeah, that actually would go good in here. I would need to find a cut for it.
Because here's the thing. Piper Wright, public reporter, is also a detective. 1 in a blue, 1/2. Whenever Piper deals combat damage to a player, investigate that many times, and then whenever you sacrifice a clue, put a +1 counter on target creature you control.
The target creature is pretty good too.
So, what if with all of these considered, it's like if you're already putting +1 counters across all your things, that's one thing. But when you get like Piper and like the nice you're like, oh, clues are reduced by 1, so I'm paying 1 mana to put a +1. Like, just I don't know. You could just shotgun something up to like ridiculous power and toughness with all these like high score hardened scale variants. Make something really big, scary, and unblockable, and just punch someone really hard.
Yeah, you can tap your 500-year diary for like 10 blue mana, then use that to crack 10 clues, because of course you've got your costs reduced. And then you've got Piper Right, so you're going to put 10 counters on like, I don't know, April, because she's my commander. And then we're going to go to combat, and she's equipped with, or enchanted with level up, of course, because she was around when we had that in hand. So we swing with April, and then we double the number of +1/+1 counters on it. And then I think we're at like 20, except it's 21 because we have a hardened scales, and then 22 because we have high score, and then 23 because we have Leo the Heart.
I'm also thinking about Lila holographic assistant.
Oh, she does the same thing, doesn't she?
Yeah, whenever you draw a card, put a +1 counter on target creature.
Yeah, that's basically the same thing. So we can put even more counters on April. Oh, and also you can't block her because we triggered Martha when we sacrificed those clues.
So it's just get absolutely slapped in the face, get Voltroned out, GG's. That's it.
Yeah, hashtag Warlord Winter. Speaking of clue synergy, I got the Fearsome Kelp in the form of Tangletrove Kelp, that 7 clue plant that has Ward 2, and at the beginning of combat, each other clues you control become 6/6 plant creatures in addition to the other types until end of turn. And it's a clue, so you can pay 2 and sacrifice it to draw a card. I'm just like, perfect. I can turn all of these clues that I've made all game and haven't found a good window to crack into the thing that is beating your ass. What's good?
I wonder what the white one is going to look like when they make it.
The white thing that animates your clues? I think that's just armed with proof and it turns it into equipment.
No. So we have Tangletrove Kelp now, and we have the red robot from Edge of Eternities that makes them big with melee and trample and all that other stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I'm thinking because I'm not thinking of the ones that makes them equipment. I'm thinking of the one that makes them punch you in the face, and I'm like, what's the white one going to look like, you know? I feel like they'll eventually do it. Like, does this mean that there's a trend? I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, but, you know.
I don't know if white has a history of animating artifacts like that, but they can kind of do whatever they want, so maybe they will if they can find a white way to do that. They did have the Dance of the Manse from Eldraine that turned the artifacts and enchantments that you reanimated into creatures if the X was big enough. So, like, there's, like, half a precedent there.
Much to think about.
Yeah, whatever. Turn them into 4/4 flyers with vigilance. Who cares?
WotC, get that on my desk in 2 weeks. Oh, wait, shit. Fuck. Damn it. We gotta wait. I gotta get through Strixhaven first.
Yeah. Alright, so gameplay experience with this Turtles deck. Hardened Scales has never once been bad, so it doesn't super matter what your creatures are if you're playing the Hardened Scales thing, and you can put the +1/+1 counters on accordingly. You're going to get them sizable enough that you can turn them sideways and reduce your opponent's life totals and win the game like that. And the version of the deck that we're playing with this, like, in this time, has all of the pictures of the turtles on it.
Oh, yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yep.
They're all doing, hey, bro, get out of the sewers, man.
Yeah, it's just a mid-range type old Hardened Scales deck. You've seen it before. You will see it again. It's just that this one has pictures of turtles.
It will do a lot of fucking goddamn work.
Yeah, it's true. +1/+1 counters, still good. This 7-mana Raph and Mikey Troublemakers that when it attacks, reveal cards until you reveal a creature, and then you just put that guy onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. Pretty good. Pretty good card. It's also got trample and haste, so it's really just like, I'm beating your ass and bringing a friend.
Why does it do that? Anyway. Gross. Fucking gross.
Yeah. pretty gross. That activated ability on Leonardo with the creatures you control gain menace, trample, lifelink until end of turn basically says take an extra turn.
Yeah, just 1, blocks are hard. 2, we're gonna get through anyway. 3, I'm gaining a fuck ton of life either way.
Yeah, I'm gonna undo your attempts to beat my ass for putting you in that combat situation, and then I'm just gonna probably like hold up mana so that I can ride that ability until the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. Why is this entire episode and listening to you tell me about decks are just giving me the ideas that I can terrify you with in the future?
Because that's what we do here in the Here's Played Vibe Check podcast. We talk about cool decks that inspire other deck builders, and then we make them face their words, I guess, on the field of battle.
That is definitely a way to describe it.
Yeah.
Yep, that's how it works.
You got another deck for me?
Yeah. Geez, I thought we were gonna end there, and then you reminded me. So the challenge from Medusa here. This is a deck that you actually hilariously got to play before me, because I put the deck together and then like ended up like not playing it because I took the Rip deck as a little more of a priority.
Mm-hmm. And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna check your homework.
So, Medusa's like, hey, guys, I'm like the Esper Sphinx lady, so you guys can choose other ones as your commanders. And we're like, yeah, sure. And so I got a Lenny and Azor, and of course, because the term has been back in the back of the brain, it had to be around Crash Out Aristocrats. I'm not entirely sure if it's 100% applicable because we're lacking the red in some of like the pivotal pieces here, but we can make it work.
I think you still came up with a pretty good approximation of that in what Esper has available for Crash Out Aristocrats technology.
Yeah. So the first game I got to play with it, I slowly but surely was able to get the win, just through sheer attrition.
Yeah.
So Lenny and Azor says Flying War 2, 6/6. Whenever an Lenny and Azor attacks, you may pay X and then Esper, and if you do, draw X cards. So, you know, you're not really going to be doing too crazy because you're paying baseline 4 mana for 1 card and then 5 for 2 and so on. At the beginning of your next end step, you may pay 4 life. If you do, create a number of 1/1 black Vampire Knight creature tokens with lifelink equal to the number of cards you've drawn this turn. So, pay 4 life, make 1 dude? Sure. Pay 4 life, make like 8 dudes? Probably better. The initial build mostly was like, how can I leverage like Knight tech? Because Lenny and Azor is like the super weird typal combo of Vampire Knight and Sphinx. And I was like, how can I go like typal without really going typal in this 3-color deck? We still kind of kept the Knight sub-theme, so we'll get to see that here. The entire idea was like, go lower curve Aristocrats to then eventually tap out on 6 and make and play a Lenny and Azor. Hopefully draw a couple cards that turn, make more Knights, and then start turning those Knights sideways, leaving just combat unfavorable regardless of the end result to my opponents. I think I still need maybe some like sack outlets to be able to proactively sack them in case like unfavorable blocks come up or whatever. I don't know. Just to have more control as to when like stuff explodes.
I think the idea of Crash Out Aristocrats is that you were using your opponent's creatures as the sack outlet. You don't need sack outlets, you need payoffs for deaths.
Yeah. So I don't know. Again, we'll do the homework and go back. To note about the game that I won, when I got Quinn down to the 1v1 and Quinn was gaining life and bleeding me out to death with like a million cuts, I'm like, God, please stop doing that.
That's the deck.
We were able to get the perfect lineup of swinging out with a bunch of dudes with an Illis Ill core out, and then Quinn was like, cool, and then I'm like, cool, I will now cast Killing Wave, where with X equals some bullshit amount of life that you wouldn't have paid, and I was also not going to pay, and you were like, what, 9 or 10 life or whatever?
Yeah, I think it was like 9, and you were like, Killing Wave, 6 life, and I'm like, I have enough creatures that I would definitely die trying to pay that. So I think we're just going to sack all of these guys. And you're like, great, me too. And I'm like, wait, what? Trigger LSL core?
You're like, yeah. So we got Zulaport Cutthroat and Vranton Executioner Thane and Sir Conrad the Grim and Dreadhound and Illusil Core and Marionette Apprentice, and the number could go up or down, but I want to have a handful of like aristocrats. Oh, and I guess like, where the hell is it?
Bastion of Remembrance and Grave Venerations.
Remembrance. Yeah. And yeah, so like I have the tech, it's here, it's permanent based, and most of it's in creatures. The Knight sub theme is only really best exemplified by Hatham Kenway. I finally found a home for this guy after opening him in those Assassin's Creed packs. He has protection from assassins. He gives other knights protection from assassins, and most importantly, +2/+2. Will protection from assassins come up? Hey, I've seen Royal Assassin played recently.
Yeah,
so
Royal Assassin.
Tell them to like fuck right off.
Marchesa's still out
Lenny and Azor get the pump. The Vampire Knight tokens made by Lenny and Azor get the pump. Elenda, Saint of Dusk, is a knight. Elder Arthur Maxon is also a knight. Lillian is Standard Bearer, also a knight. So there is some like synergy there.
Oh shit, so is Conrad.
So is Conrad. Go fucking figure. Let's make him go bigger. Beep beep. Veil of the Nightclad and Calculating Lich are kind of like the ways to give attack payoffs, or in such a way where it's like, okay, they have Intimidate. Can you block? ? But if they leave, you also lose life. Calculating Lich, for everything, like whenever something is attacking you, you're losing life. But also, hey, Calculating Lich, whenever a creature attacks one of your opponents, period, like,
so your
doesn't
opponents
matter
can
who.
also get in on it.
Fucking awesome.
I really like these as like proto within range technology.
Yeah, and then finally to kind of like top up the strategy of like, if I am trying to maintain a board state while also dealing with my opponent's stuff, what is the way that I'm going to be doing it? Covetous Elegy, Gix's Command, Starfall Invocation to bring something back, Bronzebeak Foragers as sort of the quote-unquote Grasp of Fate adjacent cards of like, get rid of my opponent's stuff that way.
Hashtag Dinosaur mentioned.
Make stuff into treasure tokens. Thank you, the Benoit, for providing me that deck. Papalimo, Totolomo, Totolomo? I don't know. Pay 4, sacrifice him to each opponent who lost life this turn, sacrifices a creature with the greatest power among creatures they control. Pretty good. Soul Shatter, classic. Love that card.
Yeah.
And Grasp of Fate. So yeah, I'm just finding ways to just leverage as much value out of these creatures as possible and these effects as possible, while also just providing pressure on the board state and hoping to try and find some ways to keep Elenda and Azor out on the battlefield long enough to me to get like more than 2 bodies off of it.
It is quite the undertaking trying to get them to stick around that long. People see a 6-mana Sphinx Knight vampire and decide that needs to die. And they're, like, not wrong, because the Sphinx's rev that you have on attacks is powerful, but also, fucking everybody's doing powerful shit, dude. What do you want from me?
Yeah, so it's like, you know, I've taken like Sir Conrad in and out of stuff like forever because I just know the type of environment that it cultivates. And then at this time I'm like, nah, you know what? Fuck it. We'll put Sir Conrad and his fucking dog from Innistrad back in here.
Yeah, you deserve a Sir Conrad in this deck.
Play Pitiless Plunderer because I also deserve the mana, and so on.
You genuinely do.
Esper
You're fighting
Signal.
for your fucking life with this deck.
Yeah, so we'll have to eventually sit down with Medusa and we all pay our respective Esper Sphinx decks and see how it all works out when it all crashes together in the battle for supremacy or whatever. And fingers crossed I come out on top.
You're definitely going to have to work for it because I'm coming with Rafine.
Yeah, and fuck, Rafine Menace. It's a fucking bunch of bullshit.
I honestly should put Alinda and Azor in the 99 of that deck because we touch so many cards. On the end step, I could be printing out so many night tokens. And similarly, you should put Rafine in the 99 of Alinda and Azor because you would touch so many cards with your attacking night tokens.
I do have Rafine somewhere. I gotta go look for it. But
honestly, if you're playing an Esper mid-range combat deck, just like think about Rafine in general. Strong Magic the Gathering card.
Yeah, Rafine's pretty dang good. Yeah,
there's a reason she had a whole standard deck that was like Esper mid-range with Rafine.
Man, you know what? I gotta log off. I gotta stop this episode. We are getting too far. I'm getting 2 ideas. I just finished tweaking like 5 decks, and now you're putting more homework on my table. I can't fucking believe this. I can't believe this bullshit.
That's the show.
That is the show. All right. We'll make it a short one this time, and we'll see how the next one works out. And then we'll see how the next one works out. And we'll keep doing this to see how long it works out for each episode before we stop. But where can we be found?
Find me on the internet at Girldick Energy. Find you on the internet at The Bloodrick Guy. Find us collectively at HBVC-MTG. We're on wherever podcasts are sold. We got the YouTube cut. We got the MTG Lexicon Twitch stream where I be playing a lot of these decks that I brew and making Cole curse the decision to sit down at the table across from me.
As with most of my ops.
Yes, and we've got the Dungeons and Dragons stuff that we'll be doing on MTG Lexicon's Twitch stream, so check that out. As well as the YouTube VODs if you missed that and you want to get caught up. Hit up the YouTube.
We also got a lot of good VODs of prior Commander games, a lot of which we've referenced in many of these episodes, so you can probably pin us down and figure out what, hey, Cole or Quinn was talking about this game. What the fuck? Oh, that was bullshit. Wow, go check it out.
Yeah, I have a homegirl who listens to some of these episodes and does the pointing at the screen thing when she recognizes the game she played in.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. Well, that's it for this one. We'll see you next time.
Later, gamers.